A very long time ago, all of our ancestors practiced one common, you could say, religion. Although religion isn't really the right term for it. I don't even think you could put a label on it, but it's called animism in the modern world. Animism is the belief that all things in nature are imbued with a spirit, a consciousness, rocks, trees, even dead things, inanimate objects. Everything in the universe is imbued with spirit. And whether you look to Native Americans in North, Central, or South America and their shamanic and animistic traditions, or you look all the way to Eurasia, Tengriism, the Basque history and culture, which I'm a descendant of, or the Sami in Eurasia, found in Norway, Sweden. All these indigenous peoples around the world, and I'm sorry if I excluded yours from that list because there are many more, but all these indigenous people around the world practice the same common religion or belief system, which was everything is imbued with spirit. They understood that spiritual deities or interdimensional beings, one could say, can live amongst them in caves, in forests, in streams, rivers, lakes, in the sky, in the ground, the underworld, what is known as chthonic. And they communed. That was the role of the shaman. The shaman was the medium, the intermediary between man and the gods. The shaman was the representative chosen by the gods many times to speak on their behalf. And through the shaman, wisdom, omens, those messages made their way through to the tribe, to the people, on what course of action they should take. Whether the gods were displeased, the gods were pleased. And these peoples, these indigenous peoples, respected these gods, these spirits. They did not tread lightly on their grounds. Neither did they take their messages without great consideration. And so, for the most part, these traditions have long been forgotten by the rest of humanity, especially in the age of modernism, globalism, post-colonialism. We've all been mixed around for thousands of years through conquest and downfall of empires, forgetting who we were, where we came from, becoming assimilated. But those who remain true to the path of their ancestors, who refuse to be assimilated, much like the Basque people of Euskal area, or say native tribes like the Hopi in America, who kept the oral traditions. They never forgot. They, over centuries, passed down the legends, the myths, the tales of the collective, subconscious, conscious of their ancestors. So, in many ways, it survived. that knowledge survived. And those few people who practice it around the world that are of these animistic or shamanistic traditions, they know the techniques. They know the traditions. They know how to receive visions and speak to spirits, how to cross to the other side, how to bring back messages, prophetic many times. And you always see the same thing. They live one with the land, most importantly. They don't abuse the earth. They live in harmony with nature, in a balance. They know their place. They don't try to be the top of everything, controlling everything. They don't create disharmony. By being in balance, keeping things relatively organized and small, they avoid many of the issues that plague large civilizations. And so they are in harmony. This harmony allows them to live very peaceful, sometimes, lives that many people probably wish they had. They don't realize they're longing for the old world. To be one with the land, to be in the plain and the steppe and the forest and the mountains. And another common theme of animism in all these native indigenous cultures is veneration of the sun. For example, in Basque culture, the Laupuru is a solar cross, swastika, representing the vital life force energies of the sun. And throughout Neolithic and sometimes even pre-Neolithic paintings or carvings will find the solar symbol come back many times. As if to say, the ancient man understood that if there's anything worth worshiping in this world, it's the life-giving sun that is giving this planet and its people and all its life forms the energy to procreate, to continue to survive. The sun truly does hold our life in the balance, has the power to destroy and to create. And so the ancients knew this. The ancestors knew this, and they carved many times the stars, the sun, and other various symbols. So that is the way of the old world. That is the understanding that everything is imbued with spirit, consciousness, the sun even. And it is something that we must return to, because we have really overall, as one humanity, forgotten the way of harmony, the way of balance with the world, with nature, with each other. And our role in this delicate balance, it often leads to calamity. And in many ways, that's what the shamans were there for. They were there to make sure that the ways that were handed down by these spirits of nature, by the gods of the stars, of the heavens, of the earth, the goddesses, they were there to make sure that these ways were followed and that the true knowledge was not forgotten. Because there have been many calamities in the past where humanity has forgotten the true way. And that led to downfall, destruction. And so, I'll leave you all with this. Animism isn't a religion. It's not even a good label, because the ancients didn't call themselves animists. They just practiced what they knew to be true, that all things in the universe are alive. All things have consciousness. Everything. The universe itself is consciousness, is spirit.